Hey folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for York Region for week ending August 18th. What I'm experiencing in the field sometimes is not depicted in the numbers, and I can tell you the market is getting tighter. A quick thank you to those of you that are taking advantage to reach out to me through the link in the description to my calendar. We set this up a few weeks ago. If you want to talk to me anything at all related to real estate selling, buying, real estate questions in general, in the description below there's a link to my calendar. Book a time that's convenient for you. I'll know ahead of time then when we're going to chat, and I'll make sure I'm available to talk about whatever's on your mind. There's also a link somewhere on this screen to subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate if you do that. Hit the bell button so you're reminded when these videos come up. Today I'm talking about cities in the York region, but on other days I talk about Peel and Durham areas. I talk about the city of Toronto. There's a lot of information through this channel. So by hitting the bell, you're reminded when these new videos come up. And if you feel there's anybody that you know that can benefit from knowing the real numbers or the things I'm talking about here, share this video with all your friends. Okay, so on some of the other videos this week, I've been talking about my experience in the field as a realtor. And sometimes what I'm seeing is not necessarily depicted in the numbers here. And the numbers, you could kind of translate in different ways. This is true of any kind of data or stat. Well, let me tell you what I'm physically seeing and experience from working with sellers and buyers every day throughout the GTA. The market is getting tighter. On our listings, we're seeing listings being booked up quicker, showing times being booked up quicker. We're seeing on offer nights more people showing up for offer nights. We're seeing even on properties we don't have an offer date set for, that is just priced where the market should be for that property. We're getting multiple offers on these listings. So the market is getting tighter, and it's a combination of buyers, more buyers kind of back into the swing of things of looking for a property, and fewer listings being on the market. Let's get into the numbers, and you're going to see some evidence of this, but I'm telling you my experience from being in the field every day. Okay, so York region, here we go. I'm going to talk about condos first. Now this is across all York region. Sales dropped from the previous week. We sold 55 condos across York region, and average sold price dropped to $657,000. Now, when we kind of look back over the 9 months, we could see that since the beginning of the year, average sold price has come up and has been pretty steady. But over the last couple of months, it looks like it's been heading up again when we look at condos. Sorry, here compared to last year, we're sitting at 20% higher than last year's average sold price, and that's pretty. I mean, it's 20% is high on its own, but for condos, it's quite high. We've not seen 20%. We're sitting at we've got 14, lots of 9s. There's been a couple of 20s here, but generally we've been around 10% higher than last year's price. For last week, we're sitting at 20%. Of the 55 that were sold, just over half, 51%, are selling at list price or more. So it's somewhat competitive, but there's still other properties you can kind of negotiate with, and you don't have to jump on board. And 96 were listed, a little bit more than the previous few weeks. And months of inventory went up slightly. It's sitting at 1.1. So still very much a seller's market when it comes to condos, and days on market is sitting at 18. Let's get into the big boys here. We're talking detached properties. I'm going to start with Vaughan, then I'm going to get into Richmond Hill and Markham. So looking at Vaughan, detached properties, sales dropped from the previous week. We sold 37 detached properties in Vaughan. Average sold price came down to $1,842,000. Now that's down from a record high the previous week. So I wouldn't get all worked up about, oh my God, prices are falling. They look like they're going up actually. Compared to last year, these are crazy numbers. We're 33% higher than last year's average sold price. For sure, the fact that we sold 8 properties at $2 million versus to the previous year for the same week has a lot to do with the higher average sold price, but prices have gone up in general overall. Of the 37 that were sold, about half, 49%, sold at list price or more, and 65 were listed. That's it, 65. So we're buying 37, only 65 got listed. Months of inventory is sitting at 1.2. It's a very tight market in Vaughan. Looking at Richmond Hill, we only sold 26. It's up from the previous week, but it was up from 22. So there's not a lot of sales going on. Of the 26, 8 sold at $2 million or more, and average sold price is sitting just over $1.8 million. And overall, average sold price, it's been very steady here at the beginning of the year, and then weekly it's gone up and down, but overall, average sold price has been pretty steady, steadily high compared to what it was the year before. And for this 1 week, we're sitting at 10% higher than last year's average sold price. Of the 26 that were sold, 62% sold at list price or more, and 51 were listed. The active listings, the amount available for sale, are sitting at 210, and months of inventory is a little bit tighter the market. It's come down to 1.9 from where it was the previous week of 2.2, and days on market is sitting at 20. Let me tell you real quick about this amazing building lot located at 85 Townwood Drive in Richmond Hill. It's in the Jefferson area, very popular area. This is a pie-shaped lot, slopes to the back, so building a dream home here with a walkout basement would be perfect. And you back onto a forest, no one is ever going to build in the back, and you've got beautiful views forever. Markham. Markham is the most competitive city of all York region. We sold 45, it's up from the previous 2 weeks. 10 were sold at $2 million or more, and average sold prices gone up from the previous week, a little bit over 1.8 million right now to buy for the average detached property sold in Markham. That takes us to 32% higher than last year's average sold price. It's kind of like a mirror effect here. Last year at this time for the previous few weeks, average sold price was coming down. This year, average sold price is going up, the opposite effect. Of the 45 that were sold, 69% sold at list price or more. Markham is much more competitive than the other cities in York region, and only 55 were listed. 0.9 months of inventory, less than 1 month of inventory, very competitive. Prices generally have one way to, they're already high and somehow they're trying to get higher, and we're sitting at 17 days on market. The overall summary of months of inventory, and why do I do this? Well, months of inventory is the relationship of supply and demand. And you could look at all sorts of external factors of interest rate and you know, how's the dollar on the world economy faring, and all these different things, the bond yield rate, whatever you want to look at. It really boils down to its effect on supply and demand. And to me, months of inventory kind of summarizes the relationship between supply and demand. And when you look at these levels of months of inventory, Market is tight. It's a seller's market. The sellers are in charge in a sense, and it's competitive. It's so important. And I keep saying this in almost every video. You're working with a strong, strategic realtor. You can't, whether you're buying or selling, you can't just, it's not the same thing we did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You really got to adapt to the particular situation, to the particular market of what's happening in that neighborhood to really do the best for your clients. My name is Santo Sessa with RE/MAX Premier. Have a great day and thanks for watching.